The fact that you've chosen to watch this video means you're trying to get better with your finances and make your money work for you in some type of way, which is really good for someone in their 20s. However, I'm hoping this video will also apply to you even if you're way older, and that is why in this video I'm going to be sharing with you two different kind of investments you can make and how you can determine the best one for you irrespective of your age. I mean, investing in your 20s is definitely a good idea, but if you're in your 30s or 40s, you can still do all of this. So whether you choose to invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or even by starting your own business, one of the fastest ways to get to the big bag is through investing, and this can literally help you achieve your financial goals even faster. Now, if you're new here, hi, my name is Adesholamie, and more often than not, I talk about how to make money, how to grow your money, and how to invest your money. If those are the kind of videos you are interested in, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn on the post notification bell for more videos like this. Alright, so when we talk about investments, the earlier you start, the better for you. And being in your 20s is really the best time because you get to build your way up while also trying to make money along the way. However, many people become overwhelmed by the idea of investing so early, and because they have multiple options, they get so confused. But what if I told you that would be the least of your worries, especially if you're able to watch this video until the very end? Now, let's start from the basics, more like the genesis, because this is really the foundation of every other investment you will ever consider in your life, and that is to invest in yourself or your skills. Hear me out. You may wonder why this is important, but would you believe if I told you that investing in yourself will provide you the highest return on investment in the best possible ways? Come to think about it this way. For you to venture into any other kind of investment in this life, you need money. And the only true way to get that is to provide value. And by providing value, you are leveraging your existing skills, which would then generate capital that would be used for many other things. Makes sense, right? Yeah, I thought so too. So basically, the first kind of investment would be to invest in yourself. And for this, you have to look within yourself and decide what skill you have that could potentially be monetized. And because, I mean, we aren't all wired the same way, skills will vary from person to person. However, if you think your skills cannot be monetized, then you are probably not ready yet. But then again, you can also consider learning a new skill that you have always wanted to try. And thankfully, in this day and age, we have several websites where you can take courses, certifications, and even degree that can help you build an interest in something new, or you could just take them to add a little boost to what you've been doing in the past. Now, we also have like YouTube where you can learn a lot of things for free. When it comes to investing in yourself, you can also start a small business on the side, but with this, you will also need to be on top of your game to make a reasonable amount of money and potentially increase your earning power, which would also allow you to diversify even more as you grow and become older. Now, when we factor in your age in this kind of investment, if you are in your 20s, you will have more time to try out multiple things and will have an opportunity to learn and unlearn certain things. However, the only constraint you may have would be the capital to try out multiple things, well, except of course you are a rich kid. But then you can start with the little resources you have and build your way up gradually, mainly because you still have time on your side. On the other hand, if you're in your 30s or 40s, it's not a bad idea to invest in yourself because there is no knowledge wasted, especially if you're looking to start something different from your previous experience. And also, you can leverage your existing background if needed. The difference between you and someone younger is that your risk tolerance is going to be lower compared to them because you have more responsibility and not a lot of time on your side to make many mistakes. So essentially, you want to focus on something associated with lesser risk. However, the more risk you're willing to take, the more money you can potentially make. And at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're doing and investing in things based on your risk tolerance. If you would like me to make an entire video on how to determine your risk tolerance as well as different kind of investments suitable for your tolerance, let me know in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to make a video for you. Okay, now before we move on, let me know what kind of skills you would be willing to try to invest in yourself, or if you're currently into something, please share with me in the comment section and hopefully one or two people can pick that up, or thanks to you. The next best investment for you as someone in your 20s is investing in the stock market. I know what you're thinking, but first of all, before anything else, the ideal age to start investing in the stock market is in your 20s rather than the late years. Hear me out. You see, the early years of investment greatly influence exceptional financial success for the upcoming decades. This is also because as a young investor, you have the flexibility and time to learn and unlearn how the stock market works in general, as well as from the successes and failures of your early investment. Secondly, as someone who is just starting out, you do not need to worry about having a lot of money because this does not define your success as an investor. Your tangible financial assets at this age have time and compound interest. So essentially, the most important step is to invest in the stock market as early as you can, even if you're starting small. However, this would surely be based on your risk tolerance and how long you intend to invest. As a general rule of thumb, I would say having a long-term investing goal is really the best. But first, let me clarify how stocks actually work, should you be hearing about it for the very first time. Stocks are referred to as a small piece of ownership in a publicly traded company, and because most companies typically issue stocks to raise funds to operate their business, they need your money, and when you buy a share of their company, you own a piece of it. One thing you, however, need to know is that investing in stocks comes with a certain level of risk, and the more risk you're willing to take, the more money you can potentially make, which means they are very volatile. This is so because price fluctuates according to supply and demand forces. But then again, while volatile stocks may experience losses, they tend to ensure positive returns over time, and I think this is what actually makes it great. Also, when we talk about stocks, we cannot not talk about the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 is basically a stock market index that tracks the performance of the top 500 US publicly traded companies by market capitalization. The S&P 500 index has had an average annual growth of about 10.5% from 1957 through 2021, and this is definitely a great way to add several stocks to your portfolio without necessarily having to worry too much, while also having it as solid as possible, if that makes sense. Now, depending on the country you are in, there are several ways to go about investing in the S&P 500. But if you're a Nigerian, I've made a couple of videos on this channel that could help you kickstart how to invest in the US stock market all from your phone. Or if you would like to invest in the Nigerian stock market, those videos can also help you, and I will be linking some of them below, so be sure to check them out in the description box. Okay, other great investments while still talking about the stock market are mutual funds, ETFs, index funds. These are just different kind of funds you can put your money into. If you would like me to make a more detailed video on the differences between mutual funds, ETFs, and index funds, let me know in the comment section. One thing you, however, need to know is that these types of funds are highly beneficial as they offer lower cost and superior diversification. I mean, at a relative low fee, it gives you broad exposure and multiple opportunities to grow your portfolio. You can also consider investing in individual stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, and all of those amazing companies because they offer higher returns over time if you choose them wisely. Although at a much greater risk, investing in blue chip companies or those with high growth potential can be extremely lucrative, but for this type of investment, you will have to research thoroughly about a company before going into it. As a matter of fact, it is important to do your research thoroughly before investing in anything. However, if you can afford to hire a financial advisor, then please, by all means, go for it. Now, if you have to compare the risk linked with each of these investments I have talked about, bonds have a much lower risk than stocks, although they offer like lower returns, which is also associated with them being low risk investment that requires less day-to-day management. Essentially, when you invest in like bonds, you don't necessarily have to worry about them because they are kind of like guaranteed. Okay, bonds can also help you diversify your portfolio and help counterbalance your investment in stocks or other similar assets, but you want to make sure to also research the type of bond you are investing in, as well as check the bond's rating. A bond rating is vital because this indicates how trustworthy and secure the bond you are investing in is. Other investments you can also look into are real estate and REITs, but I can do a more detailed video on that if you would like. All you have to do is let me know in the comment section and I could film one for you. Yeah, we've come to the end of this video, and if there is anything I'd like you to take away from this video, it is that investing opportunities do not come along often, and the earlier you can start, the better for you. What you should do is to choose the most suitable option for you and make the most of it now. You can let me know in the comment section if this is something you're willing to give a shot, or if this is what you are currently into. I mean, I would love to hear from you and know your personal experience about all of these things in the comment section. Until next time, stay safe, stay fabulous, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye.